welcome back to Edupreneur Diaries, and in this video we're going to talk about 6 ways that you can invest your child tax credit for the month of October. And I will also share with you guys how I am investing my child tax credit this month. I am a single parent of one son. He is 14 years old, so therefore I have $250 each month that I am going to set aside for a specific purpose. So I wanted to give you all some ideas of how you can take your child tax credit and grow it into something bigger and better. Being proactive and having a plan for your money is very important. So I am using Chime for my child tax credit direct deposit. So as you can see here on the screen, I got paid one day early on October the 14th, and I immediately transferred that money to my SoFi bank account where I house all of my sinking funds, which we will talk about a little bit later in the video. SoFi has a feature called Vaults, and I will be using this feature this month with my child tax credit. So let's jump into the 6 ways that you can invest your child tax credit. The number 1 way that I recommend you invest your child tax credit is to invest in the stock market. And I'm talking about investing for your child. So let's jump into Fidelity's website and let's take a look at some different ways that you can invest in the stock market for your child. There is a 529 college savings plan that you can look into. You can also open up a custodial account, a UGMA or UTMA account for your child to start investing. There are also some youth accounts where your child or your teen can learn how to spend, save, and invest by opening up this brokerage account. And of course, you have the Roth IRA for kids. Now with this option, your child does need to have an income to save for retirement with the Roth IRA. So maybe you can hire your child in your business. And if you don't have a business, maybe that's something that you would need to start. I highly recommend you guys follow Dr. Lynn Richardson if you are looking for ways to start your own business. So take some time to check out the Fidelity page. You can also check out Vanguard or Charles Schwab or TD Ameritrade. It is not enough to just invest your money into a savings account right now because the interest rates are not very good. So I highly recommend investing into the stock market. So let's talk about the second way that you can invest your child tax credit, and that would be to build an emergency fund. I recommend that you place this money into a high yield online savings account and make sure you have at least 3 to 6 months worth of expenses just in case something happens, you lose your job. You want to be able to live off of that emergency fund. I do believe that every household should have an emergency fund. My emergency fund is currently in Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and this is a new account for me, but so far I don't have any complaints. You don't want to be caught off guard in case an emergency arises, so go ahead and start building your emergency fund now. Okay, so let's get into the third way that you can invest your child tax credit, and that is going to be through giving with your tithes and offering. So you can check out Dave Ramsey's page on the difference between tithes and offerings, why you should pay your tithes, and also there's a couple of other answers to questions that you may have about tithing. It's going to be completely up to you as to how much you tithe. Of course, the common percentage is 10%, but I know that some of you guys are paying off debt and you have certain hardships, and sometimes it's hard to do 10%. But think of it as planting a seed and watching that seed grow. Just sit back and watch a return on your investment once you start giving through tithes and offering. The fourth way to invest your child tax credit is through sinking funds. So this is how I am investing for the month of October. And a sinking fund is just saving for things that you know are going to occur, such as Christmas or your child's birthday or car maintenance. So this is super important to me, and it's probably the number one thing that I changed in my life when I was going through my journey to financial freedom. So I am using SoFi Vaults, and I set aside $100 for Christmas, $100 for my child's birthday, and $50 for his school trip to Hawaii, which totals $250. And that is what I did this month for October, was invest into sinking funds for my child. So there are a lot of different online banks that I can recommend for you guys for sinking funds, but my top ones, of course, are SoFi Vaults, Ally Buckets, and Capital One 360. Those are my top 3 for sinking funds. But if you guys have any other options that you like, please make sure that you comment below and share where you are saving your sinking funds. And again, if you are not doing sinking funds, if you don't have sinking funds in your life, it is super important that you get started with sinking funds. I will be making a video later on about the types of sinking funds. If you need some ideas on what you can put your money into for sinking funds, I do have a video coming up about that. But I just recommend that you start small with maybe 3 or 4 sinking funds. Go ahead and each month start saving toward those sinking funds so that if something comes up, this is already taken care of. The 5th way that you can invest your child tax credit is through starting a business. And I'm talking about starting a business for your child. You can check out some online resources to see what kind of businesses you can start depending on the age of your child. So I recommend maybe an author, maybe a lawn service, babysitting, pet sitting. You also have kids who love YouTube, so maybe starting a YouTube channel, a podcast. There are so many options for kids now. So just figure out what your child's strengths are and come up with a business idea for your child and just get started. Even for you as the adult, if you don't have your own business or your own home-based business, I just highly recommend that you look into some ideas and just get started. So let's look at the final way that you can invest your child tax credit, and that is by paying off debt. Okay, so depending on what your child tax credit payments are, whether you have 1 child, 2, 3 children, or whatever, you want to look into possibly paying off your debt as you are getting these monthly payments. You can use a debt snowball calculator online. Just go to Dave Ramsey's site or just Google the snowball calculator or the avalanche calculator, either one, whichever method you like. You can look into those 2 methods on your own. These websites will assist you in seeing how long it's going to take you to pay off your debt. So I highly recommend these websites to help you guys as you are on your journey to financial freedom. So that is it. These are the 6 ways that I recommend you invest your child tax credit for the month of October. If you like this content, please like my video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time Edupreneur Diaries posts a new video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you need a way to track your debt-free journey, check out my free visual charts linked in the description below.